Hi guys, welcome to tonight's flight. As we are in the Caribbean, we are down in Monetgo Bay and we're going to do a flight to Kingston. We're going to be leaving out on runway 07 and we're going to be taking the Ortho4 departure, the RNAV. Transition off for Kembo and then we'll go direct over to our next fix, which I'll show you over in the charts, where we'll come in on the Kenya arrival, Kenya 5 or Kenya 3, where we'll basically take her around onto the arc and then come round. Hi guys, welcome to tonight's flight. As we're here down in Jamaica in Monetgo Bay, as we're going to do a flight to Kingston. We're going to be leaving runway 04 in the Ortho4 RNAV departure. We'll transition for Kembo. We'll then head straight over as we're going to take the Kenya arrival, as we're going to run the DME arc all the way around and come in for the ILS runway 12. So we've got the 737-800 here with the Caribbean Airlines, as the Jamaica livery that I did have didn't work. So here we are, ready to fly out today. We're going to go for a flight level of 150. It's a 30-minute flight, and then we'll do our return flight back. So don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Help us get to our 2K subscriber goal. And now we'll get into the aircraft and get the aircraft all set ready for our departure route for runway 07. Okay, so we're in the 737 cockpit. We'll go overhead now and we'll get our battery on and guarded. Standby power is guarded and ground power is on. After that, we'll check the alternate flaps, which are all good. We can turn on the IRSs, which will get set. After that, we'll go and arm the emergency lights. We'll get our chimes on with the fastened seatbelts. We'll go over and get our window heats all on. We'll put the trim air with the packs. And once we get the APU alive, then we'll get that all sorted. We can put on our logo just for the fun of it. We'll go to bat and ground power. So, we'll go over and get our panel lights now all on for the flight today. Okay, go over to our center console, get our center console panels on, and our overheads can come on as well, which is all set. So we'll go into the FMC, we'll show you the charts for when we leave out of the runway. So we're going to leave out of Monetgo Bay. I've actually been to this airport many times, some years ago. So we're going to be leaving runway 07 and we'll be coming out on the departure. So we've got 072. Once we leave, we're then going to head out onto the 057, 1300 feet above Letu. We'll then make that right turn, where we're going to then transition for Kembo onto the 136 for 5,000 feet, and then we'll go up to 150. And in for the arrival, we are going to be coming in at 7, where our initial approach fix for the ILS is going to be here for Havbo is the initial approach fix. So we can see that Havbo is right here, just where we make that right turn onto the arc. So we'll come in from Savin, we'll come down to Havbo, and then we'll run around 5,500 feet, the 17 DME arc, all the way around 4,000, where we'll take in for our initial fix, which is going to be Kenya. And as we can see, with Kenya, we will then come straight in for the so we'll go in, we'll hit position Anish. We're going to go from Mike Kilo Juliet Sierra, which is set. We'll go to our left GPS, we'll punch that in, go to our route. We've got Monetgo Bay already set up, but then we're going from Mike Kilo Juliet Papa, which is Kingston. On our departure, we're going to be coming out for runway 07 on the Ortho4, which we just discussed over on our charts. Over from Ortho, we're then going to go direct, and then from Savim we're going to be taking the Kenya 3, and we're going to transition at 7 for the ILS 12, and we transition off at Havbo. So that's all activated in. Go to our perf now, get that all ready and loaded. We've got the fuel for the return flight as well, so we're holding 11 tons. We've got 4.5 just over for the return flight and back, which will give us 9. Cost index be 22. Flight level is 150 that we're going for, which is fine. go in and get our ISA for the departure, and we'll get our cruise wind as well. We're using the real-time weather here as well, so that should be alright as well. So 150229-008, and ISA is +1. Okay. Okay, so we'll activate that off. Go to our full takeoff. We're going to take full climb as well. Probably take climb 1 as we're going up to 5,000. 5 on our flaps. We've got 135 and 146. So we'll 146 it now. Okay, which is set. Put in the 072s now over on our courses. Everything seems to be all in check, so what we'll do now is we'll set the one pump in and we'll get the APU set. Okay, so see the EGT for the APU now start, turn on the yaw damper, we'll get our probes on as well, isolation valves open, that APU bleed can come on because that'll switch over when we do. Going for flight level of 150 and elevation down in Kingston is 18 feet. Airport elevation and 8 feet for the touchdown zone. So as we wait for all of that, we'll get our electrics on board. As we go now, we can hear the APU starting up and getting ready to go. So EGT will now drop, and then we can switch over to the APU gen. Okay, so we'll turn on our position light. APU gen will be ready to switch over on the bus. Okay, which we can set off now. We'll go over to APU gen and we can get all of our pumps aligned now. Engine starts can go to both, and we are practically all prepared now for takeoff. So over on our panel, we're all set and ready to go. So what we'll do is we'll call the tuck and we'll get out of here.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect. Release the parking brake for me, please.
Okay, so we are now all ready to go. So just before we do release the parking brake, because he's ready for us to do so, we'll put in Mike Kilo Juliet Sierra, we'll get the ATIS, and we'll set that up just before we go. So we'll release the parking brake, we'll go overhead now.
Starting pushback, and you may start engine.
Thank you very much. Anti-collision's on, and we'll go for engine number 2. We can see now start valve is open, N2 is increasing, oil pressure will come to life, and then 25% will inject the fuel into engine number 2. Okay, there's our ATIS as well, which we can have a look at as well. So there's a 20 on N2, 25, in she comes, and EGT should now start to increase. Okay, fuel at 2200, there's our temperatures. QNH1016, but we'll switch that into the 29er, of whichever it will be. We'll switch that back once we get to 1016. So we can turn on our center pumps as well. Wait for the buses to come over. Start switch will flick over, and now we can go to engine number 1. Okay, start valving into increasing. Okay, so tug's now just getting us all ready to go as he pushes us back 1016, and then we'll switch that back over. So So 1016, we'll switch that over, that's 3001. Okay.
Operation complete. Set the parking brake for me, please.
Okay, parking brake is set.
Disconnecting to.
Drop out, flaps 5. Okay. Switch over the buses, go to Gen 1, turn the packs on, isolation valve to auto, APU bleed can go off with the APU, and we're all set to go. Okay, so we are all now ready to go, so we're going to get our charts up so we can check out the taxi. So taxi is going to be straight down Alpha, hold short, and on for runway 07 by the looks of things. So seems all good. So what we can do now is we'll bring over the controls, get our centre of gravity for takeoff as well. So we'll set the controls up, go over and get the centre of gravity over in the payload. Okay, so 25.8. Okay, which is set, which gives us 4.5 on the trim. Okay, which is also set. So as we're all done, now we go full left, full right, full forward, full backwards, rudder left and rudder right, which is all set to go. Put the auto brake to RTO. After that, put on our flight directors. I did forget to do that. Now we can arm the LNAV and VNAV. We're going to go up to 5,000 until we get to Air 2, and then obviously we've got the transition. So release the parking brake, get our taxi lights on, and we'll now power on up to runway 07. So as we taxi on down now to the runway. So there's a little bit of wind in the vicinity. Yeah, just come round a bit now. Okay, so we'll make this left. Now follow it down to runway 07. So currently on Alpha. Everything's all set up here, all set to go. 146 for V2. Then we're going to make a left turn onto the 056 as we follow the RNAV out. Delta there, and then we'll go right down to the end. We'll line up at the end of 07, and we can get our departure chart ready now as well, which is all set and ready as well. Okay, so there's the hold short for 07. I'm going to get the aircraft all configured now, so I've got strobes on, wing and wheel.
Addons, please be seated for departure.
Okay.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Okay, so auto brake is RTO. We've got our flap set number 5. V2's 146. Temperature's fine, and we'll get ready to go. So since I've been using the new update to come out for X-Plane, it's been a little bit stuttery. So I'm hoping that resolves itself with Vulkan. For some reason it is stuttery, but the frames are well over 60s. So maybe it's just a bug, or it could be something to do that I've edited in. Okay, as we spin around now, we'll stop to put on our landing lights. Okay, so we'll stop right here. Go overhead now. Turn our landing lights on. Everything else is a go. One final swoop, do the recall, which is fine. Auto throttle can be armed, and we're now ready to go. So we'll throttle up to 45%. Okay, release the brake and toga. Gas speed alive.
80 knots.
Check. Throttle hold.
V1. Rotate.
Rotate.
Positive rate.
Gear up.
.400.
Check. So auto brake can go off now. Gear can go up as well.
1000.
Just keeping it a stable rate. I'm going to follow the flight director 2 tough regards to the 056. Okay, which is set. Okay, passing through 2,000 feet. Okay, go to flaps 2, as we're now going to start to speed up. Passing through 2004. Go to our flaps 1, as we now just get on to the 056. Okay, flaps can now be retracted. After takeoff checklist, we've got our engine start switches, which we'll just do as we just lift up now to just attain 230. So we're going to go for 5,000. Now we go to 250. So what we can do is we can activate the autopilot. There we go. That was just because I had control of the yoke still and had it input. So right now we're going to make that right turn, which is going to backtrack us onto the 136. Okay, now we can get into control.
1,000 to go.
Check. So we've got auto brake, which is off. We've got flaps up, no lights. We've got gear is up, no lights. Start switches can now go to continuous, and we're now making that right turn to intercept up, standing at 5,000 feet now as the aircraft levels off to go on to the 136 once we backtrack round. 5,000 now. What we can do is go up to our 150. Let's go up direct to Savok. So we'll level off now. 250. Now we'll get the aircraft to start sending up. So the aircraft will now start to climb. It will compensate going over 250 as it will increase its rate of descent. Then once we get near to 250, the aircraft will start to pitch down, as we can see. So 150 as we now climb up. We'll keep it on VNAV, and we just put altitude into VNIM. So passing through 7,300 feet now, as we get some lovely views of Monetgo Bay. So, passing 10,000 feet now, we can turn off our landing lights. And we turn off taxi. And we will. Okay, so passing 10,000 feet. On our way now to Savin, where we're then going to come down in for the transition. So, if you want to see the route that we quickly do before we go to our takeoff cinematics, you can see here our routing as we get it up. We're going to go to Savin. Then from Savin we'll be at 8,000 feet, or 8,000 above, where we're going to make a right turn from the 343 radial. We're coming in for the 163. And then from there, we're basically going to make a right turn on the 17 DME arc, 5,500, 4,000 feet once we get down onto Zinan. Our initial fix is Kenya, and then from Kenya, as we are coming down, we can see that we are going to make it down for runway 12. The ILS is offset by 3 degrees and coming in on the 123. So everything's all good there. The initial approach fix is Havbo, which we've got in on the FMC. So we'll follow it down from 7 all the way down to Havbo. And then from Havbo, basically come down. Initial fix is Kenya. Now we're going to go into Savin, and what we can do is Savin, we need to come down for 8,000 feet. Okay, so we can now tell the FMC that we are going to start our descent. Okay. So the aircraft's now going to start to descend down. We can open up the speed brakes. Okay, so 240 now. What we're going to do is we'll activate the ILS. Okay, which is set. Got a 1, 2, 3, which is also setting, which is set. Okay, so coming down now, 240, we'll slow the aircraft down. As we can see on our restrictions now, we're going to decel 231 and then 214. So we've got the LNAV, VNAV, we've got our localizer which is active. Now we're going to slow down. Flaps up speed now. Okay, from 8,000 now we'll go down to 4,000 and we'll keep the speed brakes open. So we're going to the 1, 2, 3 now. Okay, so now we'll see if we can capture the glide slope. Going to our descent, vertical bearing needs to be 7.9, 3,400 feet per minute for it to catch the glide slope. So we'll put on the localizer, let the aircraft take control of our positioning. Coming down now onto the 1, 2, 3. And down through 7,000 feet. So what I'm going to do is, let's see if we can capture the glide slope, and we'll come right down. There's the runway. So we'll come right down now. We'll arm the speed brakes, and we'll get the aircraft configured very quick. So localizer's offset, as it's just coming back, as we know that it's offset by 3 degrees. Okay, so what we can do is we will fly the aircraft manually. She's not going to get down, and we don't want to be coming in again for another arrival. So the decel now, speed brakes are in the armed position, and we'll start our descent. I'm down to flaps 10 now. Come down on the 1, 2, 3, and then with 3 degrees off, so we'll make that left turn. So we'll call it a high speed approach. Coming down, we'll get our approach. As we can see, do flaps 40, 146, plus 5, 151, and auto brake can be set to number 3. Okay, so flaps 15 it, gear down. Come down to chase the glide slope. Still maintain control of our speed as we come down at a high rate.
1,000 to go.
Check. That's for 4,000, and then 2,000 was where we used to come in. Okay. So flying it visually now. And drop down into a flaps 25, trim out a little, gears down, 3 green. Okay, as we come down now, 151, okay, which is set. So we've got auto brake, which is set to number 3, which is checked. We've got our speed brakes, which are armed. We've got our gear down, which is 3 green. Flaps down 25, which we can now sloop to 30. And we've got 151, flaps 30, 146 for our landing speed. So we are now, landing checklist is complete. And we are now coming down for the glide slope, flying it visually. Okay, there's 155, we can start to add power in now. Okay, so there's wind just coming in to let us know it's there. Coming down through 1,200 feet. Still coming in down a high rate of descent.
1,000
Check.
feet, stabilized, Mr.
There's
Approach
one,
altitude set.
there's a glide slope. There's 2 red, 2 white. And we'll lift up now for around about 700 feet. Okay. So keep control of our speed, keep everything steady, and add a little bit of downward trim. Okay.
Approaching minimums. 300. Minimums.
Continue.
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Okay, speed brakes are up. And reversers are active. Okay.
80 knots.
Check. Reversers can go back in. And manual braking. And there we are, guys, down in Kingston. So we'll come off now, off our exit.
Until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign has been
Which is checked.
Before leaving the aircraft, please ensure that you have all your personal belongings.
And we'll now taxi off of the taxiway, take off our speed brakes, and we can retract our flaps now. As we exit off of Delta, and we'll go down into Alpha. So there we are, guys. What we can do now is we'll go to our landing cinematics, and we'll get to see how that arrival was for runway 12. So we'll turn off the auto brake now, flaps are retracted, speed brake is locked in, and we'll get everything all ready for the taxi to the gate. So I'll see you when we get back. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys, help us get to that 2k subscriber goal. And here we are now for our arrival into runway 12. So I'll see you guys in just a sec. And there we are guys, down in Kingston for the flight of the night. Don't forget to like and subscribe and join us for our return flight when we fly back to Monetgo Bay. And I'll see you all next for the next available flight on the channel. So take care for now guys, bye bye.